guys, it's your girl T. Now, when I tell you last night was off the hook on Twitter, when I tell you Azealia Banks went the hell off. When I tell you this bitch had me up till 3 o'clock in the morning reading her tweets like this. How you doing? Azealia went hard, okay? Now, I know Azealia is the queen of trash talk, and, you know, she tends to talk a lot of mess on Twitter, and, you know, she's irritated me in the past. You know, we talked about this on Facebook about a few weeks ago when her album dropped. But what I can say is last night she was spitting a lot of real stuff. Not just what she said about Iggy, but there was a lot of tweets that she was putting out there about spirituality, getting to know yourself, you know, getting to know more about your culture. She was saying a lot of deep stuff that I've never heard from her. Usually she just comes off as kind of bitter, but yesterday, reading through her tweets, she was saying a lot of things concerning the whole Garner situation. But of course, what caused the most controversy was the whole beef that went down with her and Iggy Azalea last night. So what happened is that basically Azealia Banks started calling her out and was like, you know what I'm saying, bitch, it's funny that when some shit goes down with black people, you never have anything to say, but yet and still you love riding black dick. So she went in. Iggy then responds to her. Anonymous ends up getting involved and calling Iggy out as well. It was insane. And then Perez Hilton caught himself trying to get up in the beef, and Azealia Banks went off on his ass on Twitter, called him all types of F words and everything else. She said she's tired of gay folks going in on women, talking about their hair, their nails, but then as soon as you call them the F word, they want to get mad. I mean, last night was insane, honey. When I tell you I was clutching my invisible pearls, honey, she even went off on T.I., called him a shoe-shining coon. When I tell y'all, after I read that tweet, I had to close my MacBook, lay down, and reevaluate my life for the third time this week. I'm like, Azealia Banks went hard as hell last night. I didn't want to go to sleep because I was scared I was going to miss something. It was just so many tweets going on last night on Twitter. A lot of fires. A lot of the fans were going back and forth. Even some of the barbs got involved. It was insane. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys all the tweets that Azealia put out there. I'm going to show you guys Iggy's response. I'm going to show you guys what Perez Hilton had to say and what Anonymous had to say as well. Go ahead and check out all these tweets, and I will come back with the rest of my commentary. All right, so you guys just checked out all the tweets and comments. So it was definitely crazy last night. Everybody had an opinion. I didn't feel like tweeting. I just sat there and read everything. You know, and I definitely understand where Azealia Banks is coming from, because it does seem like sometimes when things happen in the black community, a lot of these, you know, white artists tend to be quiet. Not a lot, but some of them tend to be quiet. And people were expecting Iggy to say some things. Iggy was saying that she was in the studio. But then I also see sometimes it's a double-edged sword for white artists as well, because when Macklemore went down to Ferguson, Missouri, a lot of folks on Twitter were going off on him, saying that he's just there for publicity. He just wants to be black. He just wants to be hip.
Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot!
It's pretty important for you to be out here? Why is that?
Mike Brown.
You ever talk to his family or anything? No?
No. But solidarity. It's about Mike Brown, though. It's not about me, man.
It's what?
It's about Mike Brown. It's not about me.
Okay, thank you.
So sometimes it's a no-win situation for them. You know, if Iggy says something, you'll have some folks saying that she just wants to be black. She's just, you know, trying to get involved in black business. But then when she doesn't say anything, folks are off on her as well. But again, it does make me give her the side eye, because when it comes to stupid shit, she's very vocal. When Eminem wrote that rap about her about 2 weeks ago, she was upset. She was going off on him. When Snoop Dogg went in on her about that joke, she was mad and she was going off. So I'm like, when it comes to things about her personally, she tends to go off. But when it comes to things about other folks, she doesn't really speak up as much. And I think that's where people give her a lot of the side eye. So I don't know, this whole situation is just complicated, you know, but I do agree with Iggy when she did say, you know, don't just be a Twitter activist, don't just be a Facebook activist, because I've said the same thing. It's easy to be a revolutionary on Facebook. It's easy to be a revolutionary on Twitter. But what are you doing out in the community? You know what I'm saying? Are you trying to get any laws passed? Are you trying to organize groups and things like that? So I definitely agree with her on that part, that there's a lot of things that we can do, and the link that she provided, you know, gave some examples. I think at the end of the day, all this did was spark a lot more dialogue, which is good. Of course, you had the stands going back and forth, you know, Iggy's people against Azealia Banks's people, you know, and then you had a lot of the gay community mad because she was dropping F-bombs. So the whole situation was a mess last night on Twitter. You know, this Garner case has definitely sparked a lot of debate, a lot of conversations, and this is what we need. We need conversation. We need dialogue. We need to get to know each other and see how people think. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, everything has turned so politically correct. Everything is so PC that everybody's walking around here scared and afraid to say what they really feel. You know, and I think that we need to have a dialogue and let people be really open and honest about how they feel about certain things, because then the dialogue can take place, and then from that dialogue, a change can come. You know, so if it takes Azealia Banks to state her opinion on how she feels about something, and it takes Iggy to respond and state her opinion, at the end of the day, it's good dialogue, and it's good for people to come together and see both ends of the spectrum and see how everybody feels about different situations. So anyways, go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this entire crazy mess that went down on Twitter last night between Azealia Banks, Iggy, Anonymous, Perez Hilton, and everybody else. So leave a comment. Who do you side with? Do you agree with Azealia Banks and what she said? Or do you agree with what Iggy was saying? And then how do you feel about, you know, white rappers and white entertainers not speaking up when it comes to black issues? Because do you feel like it's a double-edged sword for them? Because if they speak up, sometimes they get, you know, clowned and harassed and saying that, you know, they're doing too much. But then if they don't say anything, they also get clowned and harassed for not doing enough. So let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. All right. Deuce.